Hey everyone. Okay, so a few days ago I posted a video on coping with infant and pregnancy loss, the early months, 0 to 6 months. And I had lots of comments, and I appreciate every one of your comments. And I'm pretty sure I answered everybody back. But one in particular question I got, I just felt that it would be easier to answer via video, and plus it just kind of it gives, I think it will make a great video for those who are going through loss, who have went through loss, who are at any stage in the grieving process, just to kind of see how another person sees their loss several years down the road. Sorry, my son's playing. Hey baby, you want to sit up here with mom? No? Yeah? Come on. Okay, alright, so I have Noah with me. But the question that I got was, now looking back, do you see, that's right, Mama. Do you see a purpose in having suffered the pain, or do you see it as something pointless and unfair? That was one of the best questions I have ever gotten from anybody who has watched any of my loss videos. So I wanted to answer that question more personally than just a comment under the video. So first of all, no, I don't think it's pointless. Do I understand? Absolutely not. Will I? Well, oh, sorry. Noah's going crazy. Will I understand? I don't know. I'm hoping that one day I will. But I don't understand. I don't think it's pointless though either, and I'm going to get into that here in a few moments. But I'm going to let you play on the floor, okay? I know, but you're making some noise. Here, on the floor. Oh, don't throw it down. So anyways, do I think it's unfair? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is unfair. It's not fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for you. It's not fair for anybody who has to go through a loss. It's just not fair. This isn't the order that we die in. We have children. We die before our children. Our parents die before us. Our grandparents die before us. It's kind of out of order when children die before their parents do. And, you know, growing up, I don't know if you do, but, you know, I grew up thinking, oh, what a day it's going to be when my mom dies or when my dad dies. And it's just something that's always been in my mind, and I've always kind of wondered, like, how am I going to deal with that? How am I going to deal with a loss of that magnitude? So you kind of like set yourself up for that day eventually, whenever it comes. Like you know it's going to happen. But when you're pregnant or you have a baby, your thought isn't, when am I going to bury my child? You don't think like that because it's not natural. It's natural for the older to die first and the younger to die later. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works all the time. Unfortunately, babies die before their parents, and it is a harsh reality that some of us have to deal with. So yes, it's unfair, but I can't change it. Nobody can change it. Nobody can make our children come back. But what we can do is that we can make the best out of the situation that we've been given. We can turn a negative situation into a positive situation if we allow ourselves to. If we allow depression to just eat us up inside, that we can't find the good through the bad, then our lives will just be miserable. And I understand that a loss is horrible. I get that. I've been through it twice, and trust me, it is horrible. And at some points, you just don't think you will have the energy to breathe through the next day. Some days, you just feel like you can't go on, like you just can't get out of the bed. You just can't continue to live life. It seems pointless. It honestly seems pointless at some times, but it's not. And we just have to eventually, through time, because it definitely takes time, we have to make the best of what we've been given. So basically, as far as do I see a purpose in this? Yes. Did I in the beginning? Not really, but I want to say this before I go any further, that from the very beginning, when I was pregnant with Carly, and she obviously was having some issues during the pregnancy, you know, I prayed. First and foremost, I am a Christian, and I know that not everybody believes like I do, but I need you to respect my beliefs, and I will respect your beliefs as well, whether you believe the same way I do or not. I'm not going to bash you, so I asked you not to bash me as well. But I am a Christian, so a lot of this is going to be based around my faith. So anyhow, as far as a purpose is concerned, in the very beginning when I was pregnant with Carly, you know, I did a lot of praying. I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I was like, please God, just heal her. Just heal her. Allow the part of her brain to grow, allow her body to grow, allow her to be whole again, you know, take away all the complications. And I prayed every day, all day. And no prayer fixed her. Did that mean that I quit believing in my God? Absolutely not. I just believed it wasn't His will for her to be healed. So as she lived in the NICU for those 4 years, or 4 months, I continued to pray. I prayed for her comfort. I prayed for her strength. I prayed for her well-being. I prayed for healing about the problems that she was having. She had so many bouts of infections, blood transfusions, broken bones. She just went through a lot. And one day I'll probably go over that in a video just to kind of give you a rundown of how her life was. But she went through so much, and I just prayed so much for her, and she did so well. She overcame so many hurdles. She lived. In the 4 months that she was alive, she lived. She touched lives. So did she have a purpose? Absolutely. She definitely had a purpose. She touched so many people, and her story touched so many people. Even through her death, she continued to touch people. I see you. She continued to touch people, and yes, you can have that one, baby. She continued to touch people's lives. Even through her death, she, you know, I started doing a preemie onesie drive where I collected preemie-sized clothing and donated it back to the NICU in memory of her. So her name continued to live on. She was gone, but she wasn't forgotten. God, I feel, trusted me with the pain of both of my daughter's losses. He trusted me with the pain because He knew that I could handle it. And He knew that I would turn something tragic into something positive. And like I said, I did the preemie clothing drive, and I've done it ever since 2009 was the first year I actually delivered clothing. So people were being touched, lives were being touched. I blogged about it. I've talked about it on YouTube for several years now. Their memorial videos are up, and I just can't tell you, you know, how the many different ways that it turned into a positive situation. I have been able to talk to people who were going through losses like this, and I've been able to, you know, see the good now. Instead of focusing on the bad situation, now I can focus on all the good things that have come out of it. So do I see a purpose for it? Absolutely. I see purposes, their purpose every day. Carly's purpose and Hannah's purpose. And the reason I say that I see their purpose, even though their lives were so short, so many people have been touched. I couldn't even tell you the amount of people who have wrote me and said, your story inspires me. Your strength inspires me. It was your story and your strength that gave me the strength to continue on and to try again after X amount of losses, or, you know, after this went on in my life. You know, people tell me all the time that the strength that they see that I show is what kept them going. And, you know, it's stories that I get like that just fill me with so much joy, to know that my daughters really did have a purpose, to know that their lives, no matter how short they were important. They were important because maybe if somebody didn't see my story, maybe if somebody didn't know the pain that I went through and overcome, maybe they would have gave up. And if they gave up, what, you know, they may have not had the child that they have now that would grow up to be the doctor who cures cancer, or the doctor who cures HIV, or somebody who finds a way for invention. I mean, I just feel like everybody and everything in this world has a purpose. And if you're going through something in life that feels like you are just not strong enough to get through it, that you're just too weak to handle it on your own, you're not. Like I told you, I prayed for strength and I prayed for comfort, and I prayed for that every single day, and I just knew that my God would give that to me, and He did. He gave me strength unimaginable. He gave me comfort like no other. And if it wasn't for my faith in Jesus Christ, I don't know where I would be today. It was honestly Him that gave me the strength and comfort that I needed to walk through the journey. And He still gives me strength, and He still gives me comfort. And, you know, so yeah, to answer your question, I totally see a purpose for it. Yeah. And if you are feeling like there's something that you're not strong enough to handle on your own, I'm going to put a link to a song below. And the song came out, I believe in September, maybe a little earlier in September. But anyhow, the song is by Matthew West, and it's called Strong Enough. So I'm going to put a link down below to the song, but really just listen to the song. Every time I listen to it, it just brings back memories of how God helped me and gave me strength and carried me through all the tough situations in my life. And losing my daughters is not the only thing I've went through in my life. I've really had a lot go on in my life just since I was a little girl. And I've overcome it. I've overcome so much heartache and grief and stuff. So, yeah. I encourage you to listen to that song. But anyways, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.